Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Flavorful Gourmet. Today I'm going to make okra soup. It's one of my favorite dishes and I just absolutely love this dish. Okra is one of those vegetables that you either love or hate. And as I mentioned, I love okra. So this one's super easy to make. It has a lot of wonderful ingredients that are easily found, and I hope you enjoy cooking with me today. Let's get started. So I have a little palm oil in my pan, and I'm just going to turn my burner to a medium heat here. And to that I'm going to add, this is 2 tomatoes that I have just kind of pureed in the blender. So I'm going to add that to my pan and let the tomato start to fry. Now while that's frying, I will just show you this. What I have here is about 2 pounds of salmon. And I have seasoned the salmon and boiled it separately from this because it's really a 2-part process. So I'm using salmon and crayfish today, ground crayfish, but you can totally use any type of meat that you prefer. So if you want to do beef or cow skin or chicken or pork, it's totally up to you. Even smoked turkey works well in this dish. It just depends on your flavor palette, maybe the type of cuisine that you're feeling at the moment. But this dish can be enjoyed a variety of ways. You just have to tailor it a bit so that it works for you. I'm just showing you the basics and you can take it from there. Add a little bit more palm oil. Unfortunately, I did not warm my oil first, so it is a little bit more difficult to pour. That's going to heat and just continue to fry. If you guys can see that, that's what you want. Okay, so I'm going to move this because I don't think I'll be needing any more oil. Now I mentioned that I seasoned and boiled the salmon separately. Once your water starts to boil, it only takes about 10 minutes or so to boil your fish. You don't want to overdo it because it's going to continue to cook more once you add it to this pot. Now I use these 2 particular spices on my fish. It's the Grace's hot jerk seasoning as well as the St. Jamaican curry powder. I just like the flavor that that gives my fish. So my tomato's been frying. I'm just going to give that another stir. Check that consistency. It looks good. By frying the tomato a little bit in the oil, it kind of just helps you to release any water that may be in the tomato. So here I have 1 chopped red and orange bell pepper as well as a white onion, and I'm just going to add this all to my tomato mixture. Stir that in. Now, although I'm using palm oil here, I want to mention that I am very particular about my palm oil. You want to make sure that you are using a brand that is cholesterol free. That way you can kind of keep your food a little bit on the healthier side. Hope everyone can see how colorful that is. So I'm just going to let this cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's just going to simmer there on the burner. Now I have 2 spring onions here, and while this vegetable continues to fry, I'm just going to go ahead and chop these spring onions so that they're ready when we're ready to add them. Okay, this is cooked for about maybe 5 minutes or so, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding some more things to our okra soup. So the first thing I'm going to add is our okra. Now I'm using frozen okra. I have 2 bags of this that I'm going to add to the recipe, which will be a little bit over a pound, but you can use fresh okra. Give it a stir there. Okay, so next I'm going to add in 1 bag of chopped frozen spinach. And again, you can feel free to use fresh spinach. And if you want to do that, you want to just make sure you probably have about 2 bunches. Stir in my spinach. This is another dish that you do not have to add meat. You can feel free to enjoy it vegetarian style, just vegetables. It will be just as great. And now that I have all the vegetables there, I still have my burner on about medium so that it's kind of just simmering. I'm going to increase the heat and turn it up to high. Now here I just have some ground crayfish, and I'm only going to use about half of this package. So here I have half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm just going to add this to our soup. Stir. Now, in case you're curious, this is the type of chicken bouillon I use. And I'm going to add in my salmon with its liquid into my okra soup. Just gonna pour everything right in there. Because there wasn't much liquid with my salmon, this is a little bit on the drier side, and I like my okra soup a little bit thinner than this, so I'm just gonna grab a little more water. Now this is where you get to make an executive decision in terms of how thin or thick you want yours to be. So I'm just gonna gradually add in a little bit of water until I get it how I like it. Now I'm just going to let this come back to a boil. Now the 2 spring onions that I sliced earlier, I'm going to go ahead and add those in. This is the very last ingredient. Going to gently fold those in. Okay, so I'm going to cover this and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes and time for us to gently give this a stir. And that just looks beautiful. Alright, time for the fun part. Grab yourself a clean spoon and just give your sauce a taste. Delicious, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn mine off because it's exactly how I like it. There is one other option I wanted to show you. This is a Maggie cube that's shrimp flavor. Now because I cooked with the crayfish and the salmon, you could very well use this type of Maggie for additional seasoning. It's totally up to you. I left it out this time because I used the chicken bouillon. So use that to adjust your seasoning if you like, instead of plain salt, or you can use plain salt. Again, independent. Totally adjust according to your taste. Add more curry powder if you like, or jerk seasoning, Maggie, whatever you choose. Just make it the way that you will love it. So I hope you enjoyed cooking with me today. This okra soup, I love to have it over white rice. Or you can have it with pounded yam or fufu. It's totally up to you. Just enjoy your soup. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and look for this recipe and more on my website, www.theflavorfulgourmet.com, and you can also find me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.